So, after that, we're gonna get into the Great Ninja War. So, Christian, training with Naruto, trying to get his levels up. Trying to get leveling up his powers. Him and Naruto are clashing with... Christian goes... But then something weird happens to the village. It randomly gets attacked by something. All 8 Biju, well, 8 Biju are attacking the village. Christian's just in the house going, Minato, Christian's out. Christian's in the house hiding somewhere because him and Naruto, the whole family's playing hide and seek. But then the whole house gets blown down. But Christian is in the closet where all the Hokage guards are, so he holds on to one and goes, damn it. Then he sees that the whole entire village is blown down by something. He sees 8 tail beasts. He says, what the? He looks and says, why are they attacking? And he sees Minato, Kushina, and the entire family are gone. He says, where is everybody? And all enemy ninjas are attacking. Christian goes, looks like I have nothing else to do. And then Flying rises to the top of Minato's hair, point thing, and goes, here goes nothing. Then he puts the Hokage thing going, yeah. So I'll take matters into my own hands. And he goes, then they shoot tail beast bombs at him. He goes, then he takes it to somewhere else. Then they explode somewhere else. He says, activating Sage mode. He says, I'll fight all you tail beasts. He says, but first I have to take care of the enemy ninja. He throws a kunai down there where all the ninja are, and then he goes down and slaughters them all, going, he says, it's the Red Flash! Because remember, my dude's got red hair. They say, it's the Red Flash! He goes, oh no! And then he Rasenguns more. He goes, until they're all dead. Then he says, Kagebushi! Creating 8 shadow clones. Creating 7 shadow clones, and they all rush out the tail beast, going, ah! The shadow clones are easily pushed away. Christian says, ah! Christian says, reap our death seal! And seals all the tail beast chakra inside, and they're so heavy that he falls to the ground. Then he creates a shadow clone to do the 8-sign seal. He goes inside, and then the shadow clone does the 8-sign seal, sealing every single tail beast inside of him. He goes, but somehow he's still alive. Every villager actually evacuated the village. Christian goes, Christian goes, and then Kurama heals him. He goes, thank you, Kurama, now it's time. Then he goes, wood style, rebuild jutsu, and rebuilds the Hokage mansion, all kinds of houses. Going until all the houses are finally rebuilt in the Leaf Village. And Christian puts grass all around it, going, grass, leaf style, grass terrain! And creates grass all around them, having a nice terrain. He says, where did everyone go, though? Did everyone just leave me here? He goes, well, looks like I'll just take over as Hokage if no one wants to be here anymore. He puts on the Hokage vest thing. He puts on the Hokage cape, then the hat, and says, Then Flying right into the office and gets his work done. Going, Then he finally develops new technology, like computers, about a month later, and goes, and finally can make Christian say, but then he gets a letter from a crow calling a 5 Kage summit. He says, great, I have no one to help me on the 5 Kage summit. He says, Kagebushi? He says, no, he doesn't do that. He just goes by himself going, then in the 5 Kage summit, he says, what's the matter? A yells and screams angrily, saying, where's our tailed beasts? Hokage? Where even is the Hokage? He's not even here yet. Christian walks in, walking into the thing, going, so you're the one who planned the attack on my village. He says, who are you, kid? You can't be in here. Gara says, Christian? He goes, Gara, you're a Kage? Oh yeah, I forgot you were a Kage. He says, well, I'm the Hokage now since my whole village abandoned me. And because whoever planned that the eight-tailed beast attack, yeah, well, they did something stupid, because when that happened, I had to defend my entire village, killing all those shinobi, then seal the eight-tailed beast inside of me, then have to rebuild my village, become the Hokage, develop all kinds of technology by myself, because no one was there. Literally no one's in the village. So thanks a lot, A. You ruined my life. He goes. Then Minato walks in saying, Christian, what are you doing here? He says, oh, hello there, father. He says, look, I'm sorry for abandoning you in the Leaf Village. He says, you're sorry. You grabbed everybody else and couldn't go for me? Sure, you're sorry, sure. And says, well, now I'm the Hokage, because now everyone abandoned me. I was stuck there for a month. Right after the attack, you guys should have came. Why? Why? Did you start your own village or something and abandon me because you all didn't want a demon in your village? God damn it! Because 50% of the Nine Tails is in me? What the hell? He goes, oh my god. Christian does not want to see Minato and says, out. I don't even want to see you for what you've done. Minato walks out of the room in sadness. He says, so, mind telling me, right, Kage, what this Kage summon is about? He says, where are our tailed beast? He says, one question for you all. Who started this? Who's the one who planned this attack? They all say A did it. He says, you snitches. He says, then A feels a kunai to his throat. He says, so you forced the villagers to destroy mine and ruin my life because you were mad. Huh, A? You really are stupid. You realize that I have much more power than you? I can defeat you with a little to no difficulty.
I just said I didn't have it. What's two of them? There was 3 of them. You have them every day. Got them all in that fucking room. There's literally only one here that I just found.
And he says, Kage summon over, I'm leaving. Then he flying risings back to the village and says, looks like this is no longer going to be called the Hidden Leaf Village. This is now going to be called the Hidden Nature Village. I'll let all animals live here. Christian goes, then he summons all kinds of animals to live around the village. And he summons a giant barrier cage where no one can get in. He summons all the tailed beasts, and this is where they live, in a happy area. Christian says, there we go. And the tailed beasts live happily. So as Christian and all the animals who welcome it. Two years passed. Christian is about 18. And the Raikage calls the Kage Summit. Christian says, you got about... The Raikage calls a new Kage calls a summit. They call him the Namikage, aka Minato. They started their own village. And Naruto and Taruto are guarding him. Christian says, Kyubi, Habachi, I'd like you guys to turn into human forms. They turn into human forms, and Christian says, Kurama, you have orange hair? It's like Kurama's got orange hair, he's got the Kyubi eyes, the things, and he's wearing like a samurai kind of outfit. So is the Eight Tails. Christian says, let's go. Then he's at the 5 Kage Summit saying, Namikage, why'd you call this meeting? He says, and I found myself, he says, why do you let them in your village but you don't let us? Christian says, oh, hello, Naruto and Taruto. Hello there, brothers. He says, where have you been? He says, I've been at the Leaf Village, or should I call it the Nature Village? He says, the Nature Village? And he says, that's so stupid, why would you call it the Nature Village? Christian says, maybe because all nature lives there? Dumb fuck. All the Bijus live there. There's a chakra barrier around it so no one gets in. You're allowed to get out, but you can't get in. You have to have a secret chakra place, and I've made sure that only I am the only human who can get in there. You can't break it, even the Sage's Six Pass can't break it. Speaking of the Sage's Six Pass, snaps his fingers, Hagoromo appears and goes, I'm disappointed in all you villages. I am very disappointed. Then Indra and Ashura appear, and so does Hashirama and Madara. Christian says, come on guys, let's head back to the village now. He says, Naruto says, wait, can we please come live with you? We're sorry. He says, I'll allow it this once. You hurt or any animals there, because this is a peaceful village. I usually love it here. It's quiet, I get all the birds are my friends. They're all summoning contract animals. So they all have a secret ability and they all are strong. Hagoromo, Indra, and Madara, and Hashirama, and Ashura, and Hagoromo all live there as well. They also live there. He says, let's go. Get Mom and Naruto and Minako and Kushino. Then he says, let's go. He says, we're heading to the Hidden Nature Village. She says, what about the leaf? Has it been abandoned? Christian says, I renamed the village. And now I'm the I am now still the Hokage. And no one's gonna get the Hokage seat back. I've taught the animals how to do stuff like make great stone faces. So then when they arrive in, he goes, welcome to Jurassic Park. Christian says, you wanna know who these 2 bodyguards actually are? They say, who? Christian snaps his fingers and 9 Tails and 8 Tails appear he goes, roar. He says, the 9 Tails and 8 Tails? He says, look, the 7 Tails, 6 Tails, 5 Tails, 4 Tails, 3 Tails, 2 Tails, 1 Tail. See, they're all here. They're all in a peaceful area, and Hagoromo is their protector. Hashirama and Madara just usually have their own battleground feared. Just to make sure, if you try and touch one of the tail beasts, you will die by Hagoromo. Hagoromo will not hesitate to kill you if you touch any of his tailed beasts. Kurama is my tailed beast, so basically, and that's 100. He says, Christian extracts the tailed beast from Naruto and goes and does a sealing jutsu that unfreezes Kurama. He says, why would you do that from him? He's gonna die. Christian snaps his fingers, saying, no, he's not. Then he goes and jumps off, saying, I have work to do. Now both Kuramas are together. Christian goes to his Hokage office to do his work and goes, Christian starts to train, going, Auto-Trump. Look at the way that I move. Disrespectful and I'm rude. Christian finally fights Kurama to get his chakra. Christian says, going, And then he finally wins. Then he gets Naruto's Chocomon, and then he reverts back and says, alright. Christian says, Naruto, do you like adorable little creatures? She says, of course I do. He says, Kurama? He says, everyone? He snaps his fingers and a loud snap comes, and then they all go, right. Then they all turn into baby animals, and she goes, ah, so adorable. Then Kushina also sees it, and Kushina. Naruto says, it's a baby fox. And then he says, these tail beasts can turn into babies, mid-tier, mid-size, and then full-size. He says, this barrier took a while to build. I had to expand my chakra so much. Then he gets a call for a 5 Kage summon and says, we're going. Then he says, all tail beasts in. Shukaku goes in. Madatabi goes, actually not. Shukaku and Madatabi are his bodyguards this time. Kurama goes inside of him, so does Hibachi, and so does everyone else. Except for Shukaku and Madatabi. He says, Then he body flickers in and says, alright. What's the meaning, Raikage? He says, we need a 4th great ninja he says, I want my tail beast back. Christian says, you're not getting him. They're happy in this village. He says, so what? I don't care about their happiness. I care for their power. Then Madatabi turns into a mid-sized Madatabi and scratches the Raikage in the face, saying, don't talk bad about us. Just because don't talk bad about Edo. Just because we're not used for your little entertainment. Raikage just jumps up ready to punch it. Christian blocks his punch in Naruto's chakra mode and says, get back, now. Then throws the Raikage into a wall. He says, so you think you're so tough, kid? Christian says, we'll fight then. Then Christian appears at the bottom in Nine-Tails chakra mode going, ah! Then creating a tailed beast bomb. Actually, no, he doesn't. When it starts, Christian says, diddlin, diddlin. He says, magnet style Rasengan! And hits the Raikage, sending him flying back. Then Christian says, here goes nothing. Hold on, give me a sec. There we go. So after easily then, after Christian defeats him with one shot, going, ah! The Raikage gets back up, saying, fine, you win, Hokage. Then Christian heads back to the main room, but then they see a masked man beating the Kage up. The Kage are losing. Christian says, ah! Ah! Blasting him back. He says, eat that! And this is the real masked man. It's not Obito. Obito's not in the village, remember.